How's it going? How's it going? We are here for our cooking stream. We are baking a zucchini lemon poppy seed cake. Would you call it a bread or a cake?
It's made in the shape of a loaf, but it has the texture more of a cake, but a little bit like a banana bread. So you can call it whatever you'd like to call it. It's called good.
Good. Okay. It doesn't taste like zucchini.
No, a lot of times when you use zucchini in any type of bread or cake or cookies, it's more of a filler. It gives some texture to it. It gives moisture to it. So a lot of times you don't have to use as much oil or butter in it. So yeah, I make a zucchini brownie that I used to take to work, and there was 2 people I worked with that hated zucchini, and I never told them that was in there.
Good. Lie to them.
That's correct. It's one way to get children to eat their vegetables.
You never did that to me, right?
Right. Never. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Shall we get started?
We shall get started. So the first thing we're going to say is that Logan had, out of the 12 ingredients, I think he had 1.
That checks out.
So first you're going to do just mix the dry ingredients. I already turned the oven on. I already sprayed the loaf pan, and I use parchment paper. It's just easier to clean up and easier to take out, especially with this because we want to lift it out, and then later he can drizzle over a frosting or an icing to it. The spray underneath it, I also use like a Pam spray or whatever generic, and that just helps it on the sides that it doesn't stick as much or anything.
Sure.
So when you take it out later, you're going to let it cool in the pan for 15 minutes or so. And then you're going to come over and you can lift the whole parchment paper up.
Very easy rather than shaking it out or whatever.
Yes, taking a knife or whatever. So especially on the bottom of it. So oven's already heating up. So first thing we're going to do is the dry ingredients. So I want you to do... This recipe calls for cake flour, and that's different than just regular flour or white flour. I've not tried this with almond flour, wheat flour, coconut flour. I use that in some things because my partner is trying to do keto, so I'm staying away from some of those things at the house. So it's because I don't have cake flour, I just use regular flour, but it needs 2 cups, so I use 1 3/4 cup of regular flour, which I put in this bag, and 1/4 cup of cornstarch. So I should tape all these brands and everything because they don't pay me, but that's another mom joke there. So there's my 1 cup. Here is a 3/4 cup. So that's my 1 3/4 cup. Go wash your hands, and then you're going to do this.
There you go.
With flour, a lot of times I will sift it. Especially, like I said, I like making chocolate chip cookies. My cookies turn out much better when I sift flours. My mom had like 3 or 4 of them, but I already threw it in there, so we're not going to sift them. And then 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And flour, cornstarch, you should always level out. Don't do those as heaping. So we did the flour already, and then we're going to do 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. So 1 1/4 baking powder, not baking soda. And I didn't think he'd have kosher salt here. So that goes in there. So when he comes back, it's this stuff just to mix up with a fork. All right, you need the olive oil behind you.
Wow.
As Logan said, this is more of a vegan recipe. I didn't make it because it was vegan. I made it because it's really good. And 2 of my favorite flavors are lemon and poppy seed.
Is it legally vegan?
I don't know if it's legally vegan or not because of the flour in it.
Okay.
And some of the other things, but
Vegan-esque.
it's close. It is dairy free. I have a niece that's dairy free, so that's actually why I started making this, and I just fell in love with it. 6 tablespoons.
6 tablespoons
of olive oil.
What's in the flour? What does that mean? What's in flour?
Flour is wheat. Flour is vegan, just has gluten. That is correct. It does have gluten. Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then we need to do 1 1/4 cup of sugar, and I already pre-measured that, and that is... You put it in there? It's supposed to go in here.
Oh no! What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, we're going to see what it means.
I'm here for 3 seconds and I already messed it up?
Crack the eggs in this bowl.
Okay.
I turned my head 1 second.
Can these go in the garbage disposal?
Yes. Eggs are good for garbage disposal. It helps keep your blades sharp.
You suck.
Okay. Quick whisk those up.
Okay.
With loaves and some cakes, you don't need to have a beater. A lot of those just with a hand whisk will work all right.
Wow.
I have never messed up a recipe before. This is actually my first time.
Almond milk.
Almond? No, this is not my first time baking ever. I enjoy baking, okay? I know it doesn't really seem like it, but yes.
Lemon zest. Best thing in the world. Zest as much as you can. Lemon, vanilla, and garlic are 3 things that I think are always underrated in a recipe. If it asks for a tablespoon of lemon zest, I will probably use 1.5 tablespoons. I will always overflow with vanilla extract and garlic, which is not in this recipe. Garlic is a 3rd thing that I always put in more than what a recipe calls for. 3 best flavors that you can.
You have great tips. It's like you've done this for like a really long time.
No, but I watch a lot of cooking shows, so...
Did you ever think you'd be like doing your sort of own cooking show?
No, I did not. But right now I think in my head, because he screwed up, I should be like Hell's Kitchen or whatever. What the f*** are you doing, Logan? Pay attention.
Oh my God. Mama Ramsey. How do you like that name?
That's right. Channel Gordon here. But I think I do like him better on MasterChef. He's a little kinder on there,
sweet.
but...
And on the juniors one, he's like actually nice.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Okay, so that's good there. So now you're going to take this bowl and you're going to juice that. You don't need a juicer because you have guns.
I have guns.
So
Wait.
cut it in half.
I'm juicing.
If you bake, spend the extra money to get pure vanilla extract. This one didn't come from Costco, but Costco has one of the best prices for it. It's much better than the imitation. And like I said, vanilla is one of the flavors that I think is very great. Yeah, that's good for now. You'll need that for when you make the icing.
Oh.
And chat, will you please help him when he has to make the icing? He's going to need to have a lot of help. And when we put this in the oven, moderators, can you please set a timer at where you're at on your computer or phone or something? Because all I can see is this thing burning at 1 o'clock in the morning.
How helpless am I? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay.
2 tablespoons of that into your liquid.
Can I use the same measure?
Yes. I'm going to want him, once you take it out of the oven, I want you to let it rest in this pan for 15 minutes. And then once you take it out, I want you to let it to rest at least another 10, if not 15 or more.
Okay.
You put the lemon juice in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla. This is really a tablespoon. I'm not putting in a full amount, but I'm just using that so I don't pour it all. So it's about 1.5 teaspoons. Okay.
How do you think the olive oil did in there? It probably helped it, right?
Yeah, right. It helped it. Uh-huh.
We're trying something new.
Okay. Why don't it's going to be easier to pour liquid into here.
Okay.
So you do that and then you stir it up.
Put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin.
Okay. Baking is stressful. I don't remember it being as stressful, but maybe it's because there's a bunch of people watching.
What did you actually bake in your lifetime?
I've baked loads of cookies and brownies, and I've made this before. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah, remember I made it for work one time. It was not a box recipe. How dare you?
Okay, I'm going to stir this a little bit more.
Do I not stir well?
You are going, no, because I'm going to give you a muscle job. Do not. Okay, I made carrot cake the other day, And I don't know if you can see on the side of my pinky, I have an owie from one of these. Very careful. These are sharp.
Mama always said be careful.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
okay.
you could take the skins off from these, but I don't mind. It's going to show green flecks, but he knows zucchini's in there. If you want to hide this zucchini from someone, I'd say take a vegetable peeler and peel it. Either way that you want it. These are very young zucchinis. We will use the whole thing. If you get one of these monster ones that something overgrows, those I cut in half and I take the seeds out. But for these, the seeds and everything are so tender.
Okay. Why are you so good at like doing these cooking shows? Have you done one before?
Yes, in my secret life.
Okay.
My name is Amelia, and I'm Amelia in the kitchen. I don't know. You can use this, and once it gets smaller, you can use the guard.
Okay.
He zested this lemon so nicely before. It's supposed to be 2 tablespoons. That was probably about 3. Again, I like lemon. I know he likes lemon.
I will be fine. They're so worried about
We
me.
will need 2 cups of that. Let's see how much you have.
2 cups?
Yep. Oh, you're going to probably need both of those. You won't need the third one I have here. All right. Because zucchini has so much water in it, we always want to get a lot of that water out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Logan, I just going to have paper towel in here. I'll work on shredding now, and you're going to start squeezing water out of it.
Do I just squeeze it into the sink?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, and you might need more paper towels.
Yeah.
Squeeze it like a melon, Logan.
Like a
I don't know. I think there's something naughty to that.
Well, do you remember I squeezed the watermelon in between my thighs?
Oh, that's correct.
Immediately after that stream, I cleaned up and then got on a plane to Florida.
That was your work trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how much you got there, himbo?
It's in here.
Okay. You can put that much in here.
Okay.
Gently away from the mic. Yes, I called him a himbo.
Can you say that about your own child?
Sure. I can say anything. Okay, I'm cleaning this off, but I'm cleaning it off the opposite way of the blades.
How'd you do that so fast? Okay. Anyways, is this good to go?
Yes.
Okay. They say that we need you here more often. You are retired now. Imagine if we did this like every so often.
I'd be up for that. Not every week or anything, but maybe we can work once a month or...
Shared custody with my mom once a month?
The original recipe of this did not call for poppy seed, but I don't know what dessert I have with lemon that doesn't... Well, lemon bars, I don't put poppy seed in. But everything else, I just think those 2 flavors go together really good. Otherwise, lemon and blueberry. We could do a lemon and blueberry cake that I make sometime. So it's just, there's nothing in the recipe that says how much. So I put out my hand. I pour in, probably, ooh, not that much. Throw back in there. Probably about a tablespoon.
That's a lot of zucchini. It's hard to even taste, though. That's surprising.
Yep. Calls for 1.5 cups, but we probably put in about 1 3/4 because we could.
Oh, I love poppy seed.
So there's extra zucchini in there, there's extra poppy seed in there, and there's extra lemon zest. A little bit extra lemon juice, but not much. Oh, and a little extra vanilla.
Okay,
so when I write that recipe, I know, and I told you to follow the recipe exactly.
This is pretty funny because Frack is calling you out right now and saying, "What's this about baking being an exact science?"
Yes, I know. I just, as I was saying it, I knew I was going to eat my words.
Mm-hmm.
That's sonic right. Even baking's not that straight. It can be straight, it can be gay, it can be whatever you want to. We are all inclusive and we love everybody. You can love baking and baking can love you.
So true.
Yes. Okay, so that's everything that we have in there. So now you need to get a spatula what I call a spatula. Some people call a scraper. You see, it looks sort of like
A flipper funker.
cream of broccoli soup is what it sort of looks like. So, okay, put it over there.
How do you think the batter would taste right now?
You can try it. Lemony.
Tastes like lemon? Okay, but you can hardly taste the zucchini. Meg's all up in arms about the zucchini.
Okay, then it can go in the oven, and it is going to go in the oven for 45 to 55 minutes. So people, start your time. It's going in at 350 degrees. We use Fahrenheit here because I know Logan has worldwide listeners in the community. But set a timer, 45 minutes. All right. Do you know how to test it to see if it's done?
You stick it in there, and if the poker comes out without anything on it, it's good to go.
You have some toothpicks here. I suppose you could put a toothpick, but that doesn't go down real far.
Okay. Toothpick it is. I'll have you know that putting in the olive oil into the dry ingredients first actually turned out really well, and I would advise it on all of your future recipes. Mama is such a good cooking channel. Well, what about me? What is your favorite cooking show?
What is my favorite cooking show? I go in spurts. Sometimes I like to watch, it's the reality ones. It's like I said before, MasterChef. It's Chopped is fun. Sometimes I get ideas from Chopped. I get ideas from a lot of the different ones. But it's if we had given up cable a long time ago. So once I gave up cable, I didn't have Food Network anymore. So I went through a real dry spell. It's now my partner has YouTube TV, so I could watch it.
What are your thoughts on Great British Bake Off?
Oh, I love it. Love it. So.
And then lastly, what would your cooking show be titled if you could toss something out there?
Oh, Mommaolio's Restaurante.
I like it. Okay. All right.
Okay, here's a cup measure. It's 1 cup of powdered sugar, although this is the alternative. So that is very powdery. So it's going to go scoop. Don't pour for that.
That makes the most sense. Sure.
Yes, because otherwise you're going to have it all over. And I want you to put that in there first. Good thing I was watching him. It's just easier when you put the liquid on top rather than putting the powder on the liquid. It's just harder to stir. All right. This one you could use a little whisk, or easier to clean as just a plain old table fork. So we're going to start, because there's probably almost just shy of a 1/4 cup there. So we're going to put in just first about 1.5 tablespoons and get that consistency.
Wow, that's not very consistent.
Okay, so then we're going to pour in a little bit more.
I feel at home in the kitchen. I don't know what you're talking about, but this is definitely where I belong. I know what I'm doing here, and I'm not uncomfortable here at all.
All right, so let's see. Go along the top, and then it will just slide down a little bit on the sides.
Yes.
So it's okay if this thickens up a little bit more.
Okay.
If this gets, I'm going to leave you the sugar.
Sure.
So if you feel it's, once you put it on, if it starts, just test a little bit in the center.
Okay.
If it goes down to the sides and lands up puddles on the, not piddle is going to the bathroom. Puddle is what frosting does.
Yes.
But if it puddles on the side of it,
Okay.
then you know it's too thin. Throw in a little bit, like
Got
a
it.
teaspoon at a time.
Okay.
Of that. Okay?
Do you remember when we first started baking and I immediately put the olive oil into the wrong bowl? Oh boy. Boy, do I. Indeed. I did hear the timer. Let's check it out. The timer. I know. I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to go. Let's pull it out. So, what's next? All right, now we wait for 15 minutes. Turn the oven off. We wait for 15 minutes. Good work, chat. The timer's done. Yes. I'm not pouring it in yet. Don't worry. I'm just keeping it active. Okay. I grab the parchment paper and I do a little flip-flop. What do I do now? Just set it down. Flip it onto your hand. How hot are you? Ow, you're so hot. Oh my God. We did it. We did it, Joe. Smooth as hell. I feel like a proper Rosanna Pansino. Yes, it is I, Rosanna. What? Oh, we let it rest now for 10 minutes. 10 minutes in here? You kidding me? Okay. Let it rest. Don't touch it so much. Jeez, chat. Jeez. Mommaolio. It's about time that we put this on.
Good. Let's see how you're gonna do it.
Mommaolio's here to inspect this.
Smells good.
It turned out pretty well.
Nice brown around the edges.
I drizzle a little bit. I just use my fork.
Yep.
It's rather
You do
thick.
ziggy zaggy. It might need some help to go down. It doesn't look too thin, so I don't think you need to have any. So
Okay.
you can either do a fork or spoon or just pour it out the side of that. What's the frosting that is where you mold it on, that you put a whole sheet on?
Fondant.
Fondant, yes. I worked with that once. We had a cooking challenge at a team building thing at work. And we had to decorate cakes and they gave us fondant there to work with. Boucherum, I don't really care for it either. But it can look very pretty. It can really make cakes.
I think usually it's more just for like the aesthetic and the design.
I think, tastes more waxy. And
Yeah, it's like thick.
now, if you were taking that to a baking competition or something, you could have done some more lemon on top of it, zested lemon on top of it.
Oh, zested lemon. Would you have made it thinner to like make a design maybe on it?
I don't know how you could make a design with zested lemon.
No,
but...
with the frosting.
Oh, the frosting. You could do a design with the frosting. You could throw a little bit of poppy seed on top, but I don't ever think that's really necessary.
Okay, what do you think? It looks beautiful.
You did pretty good, yes.
Did pretty damn good, you know? Well, thank you for your help here.
You're welcome.
I think we would have made it for at least this part, you know?
So when are you going to try it in front of...
Well, should I wait for it to like...
You can let it cool a little bit more.
Let it cool? I think we'll have it later tonight.
Okay.
Just leave it out on the counter for now?
Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely save some for Mommaolio. I will. Here is the final result. It's still like the white sauce. It's still like resting and settling a little bit. It'll probably droop down the sides a little bit as it's supposed to. What do you have? A knife! No! Oh, I didn't do a close-up. It's on a tripod though, I'm so sorry. I just want a corner. I don't want the whole thing. Pretty good. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good. I love the tartness of the frosting with the cake. So good. So good.